Shane,
Chris.
great to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, man.
No worries.
Start the intro way over again. How do we know each other? I was trying to do all the math to kind of prep a little bit, like to background it. I mean,
I don't know, man. Like, we know each other through music.
yeah.
I don't know when that happened.
I put Mitch Diesel somewhere in that.
Mitch is in there
Like
for
if
sure.
we did a Venn diagram, there would be
He's probably
Mitch Diesel and me, and then you're in the middle of it.
But
did we play shows together? Like when Calculating did
we
stuff?
played, I think, 2 shows with Calculating Collapse back in the day. I don't know if it was before, like with you or without you.
Yeah.
We played at the York Hotel.
Oh, I don't remember playing
on
the
like
York.
a Halloween show, and it was.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
exactly. It sounds exactly that awesome.
But that was memorable, and I think we would have played a Fred's show at some point together. But yeah, I don't know if it was what part of the lineup that was.
Yeah, just in the same circles.
But pretty much just know the same people.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I do appreciate again you coming down here, taking some time and nerding out about some music stuff. On that note, if I was just meeting you for the first time and I asked you what you do for fun.
For fun?
Yeah, if we didn't what do you do for fun artistically?
Artistically? I play music, play the drums. Okay. And that kind of scratches that itch. And then there's been lulls over the years, but
as we all do.
That's kind of as far as artistic fun, that's it.
So let's reel it back then. When did you start playing drums?
Oh man. I was trying to think about this earlier today. But I think I would have been probably 14-ish.
Nice.
Or 15. You know Kelly Wiebe?
Yeah.
I play in a band with him.
Yeah.
He had a drum set up at his house, his brother-in-law's kit. And so I was in like guitar lessons at the time. And then we'd hang out and we need someone to play drums.
So drums was predated by guitar.
Yeah, I took like a year. I'm a very bad guitar player. So
what?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
I could play like a campfire song probably.
Hey, that's pretty okay. It's okay. It scratches the itch again, like you said. Your words.
It's no good.
I didn't know.
Okay. But yeah. So he taught me how to do the cuts,
Yeah.
Basics, and that's where it started.
All right. And then from there it was just playing by ear, or were you
there was no lessons. No lessons. Just
huck it at it.
Winging it. And we started writing songs like when we were kids, I guess. So
you and Kelly?
Yeah.
Right from the get-go?
Right from the get-go. And then we've been in a handful of bands over the years.
Nice.
So
all right, so you're 14, 15, just making whatever happen in the basement.
Yeah.
What were you listening to at that time? I guess if nobody starts off with an original, I shouldn't say that. Maybe people do. I never did. I started off playing.
So we would have played like probably some like Judas Priest.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. Some CCR tunes.
Oh nice. John Fogerty's a hero of mine.
And what's that? Every Rose song. Played that a lot. Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Yeah. I want to say Seal, but that feels wrong.
No, it's not Seal. But
Poison.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. It's lots of like classics.
Classic. Well, you had CCR in there. That is the classic. I believe.
We did that, and we started writing songs fairly soon, or like, probably by the time I was 16, we were writing some tunes.
Nice. Sweet.
And playing with some people.
Recording.
Yes. Yeah, I think. I don't know how soon the recording started, but we were always like. We would jam at our church, like just a couple days a week, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And then we would have a MacBook in the back, and we just hit go and just record like our
off the
sessions.
Board?
Yeah, straight off the board.
Yeah. Man, that seems like a more common story than not, where people kind of hone their craft is in playing in church bands. Get a chance to play all the time. Usually they have way better gear than anyone else can afford at the time.
There was gear there and PA. So.
Yeah. So cut your teeth on production and sound as well.
And then I I don't really screw around with that
No?
stuff. No, but I'd like to. Just I'm no good at it, so
Yeah.
we don't do it.
Well, it's time, right?
Yeah.
So first band, you and Kelly.
First band, yeah, was me and Kelly and my
Doing
friend Owen.
Poison and CCR.
Yeah, my buddy Owen played bass, and we were called Zingsten,
Ooh.
which is like it's German, so we're like Mennonite.
Okay.
So it would have everyone would get around the campfire and like sing hymns, and they'd call it Zingsten, which is like singing hour.
Sure.
So that's what we called it, and then we
Sweet.
made some I want to say like punk-ish songs,
Okay.
and that was what we did, and that morphed into that we called Deliver Us. It was our first band, like legit. We had a shirt.
That's what
We
makes it
made
legit.
merch.
Yeah,
and we had
merch.
shows. So
Okay.
did that, and then that turned into Follow the Red, pretty much.
And I think that's where
And
I
that's probably where we
met you.
met.
Met the group. 'Cause, Mitch probably recorded an album.
Yeah. So Mitch came and saw us at the church. Like we talked to him at I guess GP Music at the time.
Yeah, another deep cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always just hung out there, and he came to the church, listened to our set, I guess,
Yeah.
and what we wanted to record, and I guess agreed to do it.
Yeah.
And that was the start of that. And then yeah, it's been a while since then.
And then what did they do? What did you guys do as Follow the Red?
As Follow the Red,
An album, full album,
we
tour,
did no, there's been no touring
just some
ever
local
happened,
shows.
just local stuff. But we did an album, I think full length ish, 10, 11 songs. I think we recorded a full length, a couple got cut. We did, yeah, full length and an EP.
Nice.
So
I think I only heard an EP.
okay, the EP got released like after we broke up.
Oh.
Full length is some songs are okay.
Nice. Yeah, that's a bar. You know what though? Okay is good. Okay is good. Okay is getting music out, man. It really is.
It took us forever to get stuff out because there was a lot of like, do stuff, play some shows, write some new stuff, and then it's like, oh, these songs are better, and then you swap them out and
chuck the old ones all together, not go back and
We-
just sharpen and sharpen and sharpen
No.
and go, yeah, it'll never be sharp enough.
we chucked a couple, kept a couple. So yeah, the first album there's like a bunch recorded that we did like tracked, instrument by instrument, and then we went back and did like 3 live off the floor, which was fun.
What was better?
I liked the live off the floor stuff. I wish we would have done it to a click because we did like
Just totally
just
wung it.
totally live.
Yeah, wow. That's a
Uh,
lot of pressure on you specifically.
I didn't quite grasp it at the time, I don't think. And now I still like them. They hold up. They're-
One to the other, what feels better?
right now, playing with the click feels
Sorry,
Feels
I
100% better.
mean the clicked album or the like the multi-track kind of like almost
I think
sterile kind of, not
the-
sterile, that's unfair, but
Yeah,
that's
I know what
the
you mean.
argument, right?
uh
Versus that real, actually the
I think
rhythm section clicking.
all of
and-
us in the room together doesn't sound as good, like sonically. It sounds different.
like too much bleed, too much.
There's bleed
stuff
and
that you
everything.
can't
Yeah, we did.
control.
I think I want to say we did vocals in the room too. We might have went back and retracked them. I don't remember. But like Tim was in the room with a mic, and yeah, so like amps were in.
Yeah.
Everything was there.
Screaming
So it was
loud,
it was
and
loud.
Someone smashing a snare,
Yeah, it was me.
right? Like there's
So like it definitely sounds different. I like those songs better though on the record. The other stuff that we tracked sounds a lot more like punchy and like I guess proper.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Familiar, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I've ever done, other than like recording a performance, but I've
Mhm.
never really done it the other way. Done it live off the floor and trying to get something locked down. And man, you can record an album in an evening then, if you're
Yeah.
if you're
as well,
smashing
especially if you're not
most
like,
instruments at the same time.
and if you're not doing it to a click, it's like, was it tight? It's like, yeah. It's like, were we on time? Like maybe.
I think so. Close, right? Um. So follow the red,
Yes.
then life stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. So
hiatus-y stuff, or
Follow the Red kind of tapered off. Uh, um, I I'd got married. Tim was married. Garth was married. Um, Garth was having a kid, and I don't know. We were kind of at that point where, like, me and Kelly went and looked at like a van because we were like, we want to do this kind
yeah,
of thing, and then Garth and Tim both quit. And we're like, well, that's
yeah,
that.
that's
So,
half
and there
done.
was never, we talked for like all of 5 minutes about trying to find other people to play, and then we're like, no, the band was this, and that's that. So, and
Fair
then we
enough.
got together a few other times to like play shows after the fact, but
All four of you. Once
yeah,
it kind of was convenient for
yeah,
everybody.
I mean, with the funnest shows we played were after we had been done.
Once you weren't a band
Yeah,
anymore.
it's awesome. There's no
No
pressure
pressure.
or anything.
No
Like,
pressure. Yeah.
it's like, hey, you want to play a show? Like Mitch ended up getting us a show. We opened for Cancer Bats like a handful of years ago.
Dang.
And it was a blast.
What a good
It was
out of
awesome.
nowhere
I
show
know.
too, right? If you're
It's
gonna
like, you
do
want to
one.
play this? Like, yep. And then you get together and practice twice before the show, and it's like,
Yeah. I'll play
as
for
good
free
as it's gonna
tickets,
get.
at that point. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's killer.
yeah. And then I was in a band with Garth, our bass player, called Modern Myth,
Right?
which was like I don't know, like indie rock, like poppy Beach Boys type, or I don't know what you want to call it, alternative music.
Nice.
So that was fun. Did that
Modern
for a
Myth.
couple
Yeah.
years.
I remember that too,
Mitch played bass
vaguely.
in there.
Yeah, that I think that's
Um,
probably why.
so it was me and Garth and John Coons and then Mitch. So
And can we hear any of that
yeah,
or
we got, I want to say, a 3-song EP. I think 3 songs. It's on Bandcamp, I
okay?
think. I don't know if it's on like any of the regular platforms, but I think it's on Bandcamp.
Yeah, Bandcamp's regular. You just gotta look for it.
You just gotta look for it.
That's a fair bit of music that you've recorded.
Yeah.
That's
Or
awesome.
like, I guess, yeah, a couple.
My takeaway with music is just, especially recording, you get that thing that doesn't matter what happens. Um, right now, like I don't know how much we talked about this before, but my spine's all messed up from some garbage. I can
Okay.
kind of barely hold a guitar now, so I'm getting spine injections
Okay.
every 3 months where they pump cortisone into my back so I can play guitar for about 2 months, and then it goes back to my whole arm goes numb and I can't play for like 5 minutes. All that stuff that I got to do before this point and everything I've recorded now, and even if this thing like falls apart and I can't, this arm just falls right off, that stuff is there no matter what. And
Yeah.
that's my favorite part about it is that you get this like snapshot in time where you sometimes I watch some of the calculating collapse stuff or listen to it or try and replay it. Arjun and I
Mhm.
were working on some guitar playthroughs and
Yeah.
stuff last time when we first kind of reconnected here, uh, and trying to learn it. I'm like, I don't remember this stuff being that fast. Find a
You guys
video of
ripped?
it. Oh, thank you, but it was just
Or like,
impossibly fast. Was what I found out as a guy who again stopped playing that stuff, started just strumming acoustic and singing to my kids and doing
yeah.
that for I don't know 10 years and
No,
go back to
it
it. You're
was
just like,
it was
what was
proper.
going on? Yeah. So I mean getting on a tangent here, but that whole having that snapshot, like so you get a bunch of snapshots of your playing over the years.
Yeah, which is cool. Makes you wish you would have recorded more stuff.
Always, yeah, that's 100% the thing.
Yeah, I was in like a post rock band, I guess, with Mitch and Kelly and Jake. I forget his last name right now. He lived with Mitch for a handful of years.
I forget too.
East Coaster guy.
You get points for Jake.
Man, it's gonna bug me. But
The
anyways,
drive home, you'll remember.
I will. I'll text you. But yeah, we played a couple shows, and it was like, I don't know, it's weird music. It was like 10-minute songs and like no vocals, no nothing. And
And it's all on you. I mean, the bands that I like that are post rock, it's the drummer that does everything.
it was a lot of fun to play. Like Kelly played bass in that one, and then Jake and Mitch both played guitar, and it was just they'd both be doing stuff, and I'm just like, you're just counting for so long.
Yeah.
Just
And they're doing the same thing or
like
tiny variations on it
me
over
and
like
me
2
and
or 3
Kelly
minutes.
were locked in. It was just like this beat 30 times, then we switch, and then it's 16 times of that, and then back to, and it's just like, yeah. I wish we would have recorded that stuff because I think it's super cool. It was like an Explosions ripoff band, you know.
Yeah, Explosions is dope, man. I love Explosions. Tides of Man. It's another band that
Okay,
I
yeah. I didn't
loved
get
a
into
whole
them a
bunch.
whole lot. Listened to pretty much them and Appleseed Cast during that time,
Yeah, it's all
and was
drummers.
just like, yeah. And there's some cool stuff there.
It has to be the drummer because I have a bunch of stuff saved on the computer that's in under a file that's called not post rock, which is all that it is. After that is like super, wet delayed guitar that does a whole lot of almost nothing, and the drums evolve underneath it. And that's what, at least for Tides of Man especially, that's what kind of glued me to them, was that they were just it's minimal change and the drums are just pushing it, and all of a sudden you get to feel every kind of variation of that,
Yeah,
how that riff could be, all in a linear format,
yeah,
and ideally building the whole way to some massive crescendo.
yeah. And then the song ends.
And yeah, just as it gets going,
It
you're like
smashes for a bit, and you're like, all right, it's done.
one big like reverse cymbal swell, and it's over. Yes. Cloud Kicker. You ever listen to those guys?
I didn't.
I shouldn't even say those guys. It's a guy.
Okay.
It's a guy. He's apparently a pilot, and he writes it all himself, and then eventually will maybe tour, I think, with the band Astronoid,
Okay.
and
I
then
didn't.
the Astronoid band opens and then plays all the other instruments on the set.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mitch got me into them too. That was the whole
Yeah, we.
around that Modern Myth era, I believe.
I
Actually,
didn't listen to a lot of that style stuff. Like, listen to Appleseed and the Explosions, and then we saw Caspian. I want to say they opened for like Amberlin or something in Edmonton,
nice.
and they opened for somebody. Anyways,
As they do.
and they were awesome. So I listened to them for a bit, but I kind of need those vocals in there to really do it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, while we're on that topic, what are you listening to these days? If you're
These days,
I always use the example of like, well, we're in the first few months of 2023, so if you're a Spotify guy, you get a year in review. I don't know if Amazon does it, but I love those lists where it tells you the metrics.
Yeah,
of what
not a
you're listening
Spotify
to.
guy, but I listened to, oh man, what's it called? Wonder Years' new album. I got a ton.
Yeah.
When it came out. Yeah.
Write that down.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Um,
I've seen the name a bunch. I've never dove
Okay.
into it at all. But if you're telling me it's worth it, I'm gonna check it out.
it's like I don't know what you call it. It's real emo, like it's good stuff. It's just fantastic. It
Midwest
sounds
emo, like that
yeah,
kind
kind
of
of Midwesty.
janky chords and
Um,
a little faster.
like
Or-
no, it's more. I don't know. It's not like fast. Just like the production's fantastic, and
Good start.
the storytelling seems good. The vocals are great. So it. But the hum goes on forever. I think the album's called. That made it a lot on the old list.
Yep. What else?
Lately, like last couple weeks, been listening to the Stray from the Path's new-ish album, like Euthanasia, which is, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's kind of,
You're playing
it's
it.
got some cool parts.
Yeah.
So don't listen to a whole lot of heavy music.
Yeah.
Counterparts normally makes it in there because they're real good.
Yeah.
And then
What else you listen to that's not heavy?
it's not heavy, like City and Color.
What album? New stuff?
No, just old stuff.
Just
The new. I listened to the new.
Sometimes, I think it was called.
Like Bring Me Your Love is like, that's a top shelf for me.
Yep. What band have you seen the most?
Norma Jean, probably Norma Jean, or Under Oath. Under Oath's out 2 or 3 times.
I never seen Under Oath. Not once. I would have liked that.
Okay, I don't know if I'd. I mean, if they played in Edmonton or Calgary now, I'd go see them.
Yep. Talk to me. Terrible? What happened?
Have you listened to the last 2 albums?
Last one I listened to, I think it was Lost in the Sound.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Or just something like that.
yes, that's
Is that what it's called?
to me that's the
Lost in
best
the
one.
Sound.
Lost in the Sound of Separation. Yeah,
Okay. Only Chasing Safety.
that's the or I
Can you
call it
feel
the
your
first one.
heartbeat racing?
Yeah,
That one.
that's good stuff. So that's like old.
Yeah.
So yeah, they released one this last year.
Writing on the Walls. That's the next one. I can picture the album cover.
Okay,
You guys did a song from it.
we did one off Chasing Safety,
Dangerous Business.
Dangerous Business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Which is fun because it's 20 years old.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
man, I bet you 80% of the people in there didn't know that song. I felt like it was played just for me and
Okay.
just for Jeremy. Because I look across the room at him and I'm like, look at.
we wanted to put like never been in like a cover band like real like other than like playing with Kelly like way back when, but like we never like been like a bar band that plays covers. So like none of the bands I've ever been in have played covers. Fall the Red didn't play a single cover.
Not even to like fill out a set.
Never. It was always just originals. So and
Dang.
we needed to fill a set, and we're slow at writing songs with Nazzy. So
Cover.
it was like we should play a cover.
Yeah.
And it should be something that people know, but not like
Oh.
it should still be something that we want to do.
Almost nobody knew that song there. There's no way.
But
Some
like-
of them weren't born yet.
I feel like yeah,
Doesn't matter. It's
it
a great
doesn't
song.
matter. It's
It's
good.
a great song. You guys crushed it.
It was
I would
fun.
give it at least a B plus A, and most of that's because of the sound, which I imagine the monitors on the other end of that was just as equally troublesome to hear each other. And
We play with in-ears, so I could hear.
I was
just fine.
giving you an out, bro, for that
Sorry.
B plus. It was
Sorry.
actually an A. I was being hard on you because
No,
you had 20 years to practice.
we had 20 years. But yeah, never been into like doing the covers, but it's kind of fun.
Are you into it? I feel like there's like a little bit of like I wish we would have.
I've always kind of liked that, like that we didn't. Like it wasn't like I don't know.
Pandering?
Don't want to talk like crap on like a
Oh
bunch of
yeah,
bands.
no, do it. Talk crap on everybody.
Sometimes you see like bands that play like 10 covers and they're fantastic. And I heard this in a podcast recently, so I'm just totally stealing it, but it was just like
Yeah.
it holds up. And then you hear they're like, "Oh, here's an original," and they play 2 originals in their set, and it's like these are the worst songs in your set.
Yeah. Didn't you hear the songs that you just played?
And it's
Why
like,
didn't you make yours kind of like that?
Yeah. So if you get, I don't know. I mean,
It's
Nazzy,
two,
we're trying to rip off Under Oath anyways.
two or
so
three.
It's,
Yeah. Like I want to stylistically do it.
but it's yeah, I always kind of liked that we didn't do covers. We practiced one for Fall the Red, never did it.
What one?
Water Wings, Alexis.
Oh, dang.
Another like old like no one would.
If it's
There's,
just for
there's
me,
gonna be 10
and
people that know it.
Jeremy,
Oh,
then
and we
just-
did like half of a review song.
Which one?
Worms of the Senses. We did like the intro bit. Down. We did it to like get till it gets really hard, and then we just like mashed it into the intro of one
Yeah.
of our songs.
What? While we're talking shit on bands that have all accomplished way more than you and I have, what about their new album?
Don't listen. To it.
Newish. What? You didn't like it?
Never listen to it.
Oh, sorry. I said, like you said, don't listen to it.
I don't.
You
I don't listen to it.
haven't listened to it.
No.
You should.
Like how new are we talking?
Probably like 6 years.
Okay.
New for them because
New
I
for
mean they
them,
did
yeah.
nothing since
did not-
2002, 2005.
So for
20 years. It was like 15 years I think between albums.
I listened to Shape of Punk to Come a lot
One of the greatest albums of all time.
because Mitch turned us onto it while we were recording
Mm.
all the Red stuff.
Yep.
He was like, "Hey Tim, you sound like this guy," and then we all listened to it. We're like, "Oh, he does." And then
Sorry, continue. I'm
Yeah, no, go
thinking
for it.
out loud.
Oh.
Who's your singer in Nazzy?
um
Not Tim, right?
no. It is so on the record. Sam, the guitar player, does all the screaming, and Cord does all like the clean vocals. And then for live stuff, we got Caleb Schroeder. He's in a band called Stars Dyed Red, and they're like a kind of pop punk band.
He's two banding it. Is
Yeah, a little bit.
or is it your guys'?
Like, yeah,
Is he writing the next stuff, or is he writing with
it's up in the air right now. We don't know
you? Okay.
at the moment.
Okay. Nice.
So maybe
Does he know that you don't know?
he was, yeah. So he was brought on as like Sam wanted to just play guitar live, and he's like, I don't want to. He's like, I can do vocals and play guitar. He's like, I just don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, we need to find a singer because it just makes live shows more fun if everyone can just do the one thing. And Caleb's got a good voice and he's a great frontman. So
Yeah, sounding great.
he's got the moves.
Does have moves.
So
It's exciting. And it's freeing for everybody else.
yeah.
Even writing too. Like well, I don't know if One on Fire is a band, but
I've seen them play.
I was super pumped to be able to write without having to think about doing anything vocally.
Okay.
Which was super cool because then Scott just does everything and I don't have to think about it. And I can write harder, crazier riffs.
Yeah.
And then archery, well, secret's out. We're just never going to play live. So we'll just write whatever we want. So.
Yeah. And that's kind of how Nazzy stuff kind of came up. Like, Cord and Sam recorded the first album by themselves. The two guitar players. And they just, it's a 4-song EP.
That's one that's got the Under Oath connection?
Yeah. So, yeah, Aaron did drums on it. Like, yeah, there's a time when everyone was like, send me tracks and I'll record them. And he was one of those guys, and they sent it to him. So he did that, and he did the vocals on one song, like sang a chorus. So it sounds
cool.
It's cool. It's super cool. It's awesome.
That perfectly launches into this question right here. Practice routine. Do you practice?
Pretty rough.
Yeah?
Been trying to. Did once this week for a bit. But yeah, it's when I'm not like playing in bands, then there's not I have a hard time just going out and like practicing to get better. So, I don't know.
Probably not doing like rudiments and stuff.
Yeah,
or
not
just jamming along the tracks, just trying to play songs that are hard for you to play.
Yeah, and then when it's like when I knew I was joining Nazzy, it was like learn the songs. So that took some time.
But you're not out there paradiddling.
But no, I wish I was. It'd be better, I'd have yeah. None of that was ever like drilled into me. It was like learned how to play drums, like basic beat, and then I was like playing bands, and it was like that was that.
I'm noticing a theme here with you guys where you're like, all right,
we know how to do this one thing.
Let's run with this
and
now.
And then we just do it.
We don't have anyone in our band that wants to sing live. We recorded an album, and now we're booking shows already. And then you're just making it happen before the show.
So with Nazzy, like we learned the EP, we started writing, and we recorded the 2 singles that are out now. And then we were like, we should get a vocalist so we could play shows.
With 2 songs. 2 songs in the bag, and you're like, let's do a show. I fucking love that.
Well, like, so there's like we had a 4-song EP that they had written.
Yeah.
And then we wrote 2. And then
so
we got
first 4, was that with a different singer?
No.
With just the vocalist, or just the band as a 4-piece?
Sorry, the first the 4-song EP that's been out for probably 2 years now.
Yeah, with A.M.
Yeah, it was just Cord and Sam recorded, or Kelly recorded it, I think. Pretty sure.
So could have performed it as a 4-piece.
Kelly might have just mixed it. I'm not sure if he recorded, but yeah, it could have been performed as it was. And then we wrote 2 songs with the 4 of us, me, Kelly, Sam, and Cord. And then we got Caleb to come in and do vocals.
And it's awesome.
So like
6 songs, and you're like, let's book shows and
enough.
not do covers.
We got 25 minutes.
It's right.
Or the cover brought us up to that 25.
Right?
And we're like, that's long enough for a set.
Yeah, if we talk a little in between, that's a hard 28.
We don't do not a whole lot of banter.
Okay, so what does this band require of you? How did it push you? Or was it any different, or is it just the natural evolution of Follow the Red and Modern Myth? Maybe not so much. Kelly wasn't in that one, right?
Kelly wasn't in that one.
But is it kind of the natural progression of your ability into this band, or are those guys writing stuff and they're saying, "Hey, I want blast beat here, and that's not. So I'm writing something that I want that's different." Is this pushing you in any way, or is it just the natural kind of evolution of your playing?
It was a push to learn the stuff that I didn't record. Just because that's I don't know. It's harder when you don't write a part. Like when you don't come up with it, it takes longer to stick.
You're learning it then. You're
Yeah.
not writing it.
Like I learned it. I had to I had to chart it out to be like, this is how the parts go. And I had my once I wrote it down on paper, I didn't need the paper anymore.
Yep.
But I had to go through that process of this is how it goes. And then that was a lot of, so yeah, embarrassingly enough, my most listened to album last year was a band that I was in. So, because I was learning tunes.
Oh, well, that's not embarrassing at all.
It was man, I got 700 times through this album or whatever it is.
Not to get too far off on that, because that makes me think of 17 hilarious things. My wife might never come to any show we ever play because of how much she has to listen to these mixes at home.
Mine will never.
Yeah. They can go hang out.
It's Father Ed practiced in my basement.
Oh yeah,
for years. Yeah. So it's she knew. She used to come to shows, maybe a few back then, but just not into it. So.
And see, this is the exact tangent I didn't want to go down. Okay, hold on.
Sorry.
Because I just have 7 more things that I want to tell you that are hilarious about that too. So you had to chart it out. Is that
there's
that
a few parts?
You?
Yeah, I don't know how. I Googled how to read drum sheet music. I was in band when I was in high school. Yeah. I played the saxophone, so I know how to play the saxophone, I guess. But I don't know how to read drum music, or I didn't know how.
Yeah.
Now I wouldn't be able to you put a piece in front of me and set the BPM. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Sight play it. Yeah.
I would not.
Whatever,
not a chance.
Man. That's pushing your boundary.
But it was listening to 10-second clip of the song, and it's okay, snare, kick, whatever, and trying to figure out. And not that it's not overly difficult. It was just complicated for me to figure out.
And just a new skill set, for sure.
So I guess push me that way. But no, they're not asking for blasts and metalcore.
I just mean stuff that's outside of yours. Maybe it's just straight ghost notes that are unrelenting ghost notes through everything that you're just
no,
or whatever it is.
So far, I mean, we've only written 2 songs with the 4 of us, but so far they're not asking a lot. They're not being overly particular about what they want me to do. So I'm kind of
left to your own devices.
A little bit. There's a part.
Wonderful.
There's a part in Shin Splints that Kelly had programmed that stayed pretty close to his program part because I thought it was killer.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the demo that he sent out, there's a demo sent back and forth, and then Kelly kind of cleaned it up, put different drums on it, and it's oh, this part's cool.
Yeah.
And then I tried to recreate it, didn't get it, but I think it sounds cool.
Yeah, it's interesting when us guitar players write drum parts.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Sure is.
Bevan went through two of the archery tracks just going
no one has this many limbs.
He's super polite about it, but you can just see he's just why do you do this? I tried, man. I tried. But that's okay. That's cool. I'm glad that you learned how to write rhythms. The cool part about that, what I liked about learning that side of it, once you know even just rhythms, let alone melody. I mean, for a melody instrument, you can play anything. You can play literally anything. Because once you can read it, then you can slow it down.
Yeah.
And then you can play that thing at 60 beats per minute until you can't miss a note. And then just start clicking that metronome up, and all of a sudden you're playing this thing that you never could play. As opposed to just kind of listening to it and trying to fumble along until you kind of get it ish.
There's some fumbling, but
yeah. But that's an invaluable skill. Being able to read even just rhythms. If it's just rhythms, it's still you can dissect any piece of music anywhere now.
Yeah.
And at least know what it rhythmically sounds like, which is super valuable. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Pushing your boundaries. In a way that you wouldn't really expect, not necessarily like a technique thing, but a communication thing.
Yeah. For the most part, it's straightforward. Or I call it hardcore music. I don't know what genre it falls into, but it's. Geez.
They should do away with genres.
Yeah,
it's impossible. Poser core. That's what I'm calling anything I do now, because it's just an amalgamation of all the things I think are cool that other people are already doing.
It's there's bands we're trying to rip off, and I don't think we're doing like a super fantastic job of ripping them off, because then we'd sound like them.
Yeah.
So it's like it kind of you get that, and then you get like 4 other people putting their spin on it, so it just sounds like something. Sounds like something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what it is.
That's a great way to do it when you can find a room of people that can do that. That can, each bring their unique history of influences to whatever the new thing is. Is that how? Is it divided basically by your instrument, the writing, or are you
like
doing anything more than just drums?
I'm not doing anything more than just drums. No. If I want, like, I'll ask for something rhythmically if I want it out of a guitar, but I
Yeah.
don't know what notes people are playing, and they can listen or not listen, and
Yeah.
it's whatever. Kelly's wrote a couple riffs on guitar, because obviously he does that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, kind of trying to write it all together.
Like in the same room, like someone
Like,
kind of brings a riff, and you're like, "Oh yeah,
so
no, I
like the
see where that
first
can
two,
go."
like there's a drive full of demos that are, some of them are like pretty like complete demos, and some of them are pretty half baked kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first 2 songs were pulled out of there and changed a bit. Felt like a lot, but probably at the end of the day they were just changed a bit, and it just took
You
us a
guys
while.
kind of share the writing, but pile of riffs, and then you're
Yeah.
chucking it together
We talked
in the same room.
We talked about it last week, and it's like we kind of want to try writing in the same room, like bring a riff and do it that way going forward, or at least for one,
As opposed to demoing
as
it that
opposed
far.
yeah, I'm not a fan of the demoing stuff out.
Do you get drum stuff stuck in your head that someone else wrote, and you're like, "This
Sometimes,
I
so
can't
like
get
if
can't get away from it."
yeah, so if the 2 that we had demos for, like Orthodox and Shin Splints, um, they'd send me this. I'd have the demos obviously, and I would get Kelly to take the drums out and send it to me with just a click track, so I could try to.
Before you hear it.
No, like I would normally hear it with other stuff, but
Oh yeah.
it's like, I don't know. You don't want to listen to it too many times with that program stuff in there, because then it's like it kind of, or it doesn't pigeonhole you, but you could definitely let it get you into that mindset of how a song's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I like thinking that I'm coming up with my own stuff, whether I am or not.
Yeah.
But
well, just like unpolluted ears on it.
yeah,
We got this one track where this chorus vocal just never worked. Never sounded good, never worked with the rest of the song, and there's just nothing we can do about putting something else on there, because the second it starts, all you can hear is that bad melody line that shouldn't be in there at all. It's the first thing that comes to mind.
Need a set of fresh ears.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, so I hear you on that. That's a cool goal though, to get everybody kind of as averaging our music brain as possible.
I like
Keeps
doing it
everyone
that
invested.
way. Yeah, I mean it definitely makes it more difficult, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're gonna write way less songs that way.
Yeah, like Follow the Red did it that way. Modern Myth, Garth ended up writing most of it, and kind of like the songs are pretty much done, and we kind of put parts on it.
Yeah,
we wrote a few songs a little more collaboratively, but Follow the Red was all like us in the same room every week trying to write songs, and we only wrote 13 or 14 songs in however many years we were together. Like, not very many.
How many years?
Oh man, started when we called ourselves Follow the Red was probably like, I would have been 18ish, 17. I feel like we were allowed to do bar shows, so I must have been 18. I don't know how many years.
I was just gonna tell you that it was
probably
not that few songs.
Probably 5 years though, honestly.
Oof,
like, it's not.
I was hoping you'd say 3.
No, it was like it was a proper amount of time.
Okay, so here's my math on it though. The 4 or 5 of you? How many was in Follow the Red? Was it 4 piece?
4 piece. 1 guitar, 1 bass, vocals, drums.
Yeah. With 4 people each contributing to songs like that to the same extent, you managed to keep a band together for 5 years with 13 songs. That's invested people in those 13 songs for sure. Okay. And that's people not getting, we're all doing this, I think, to some degree. Yeah. I don't think anyone's doing this to be a texture in the background, you know? Everyone's kind of doing it to be heard a little bit and to be seen and whatever you want to fill in the narrative there you want. But so if you have one creative force writing everything, doing, 80% of the heavy lifting, and everybody else is just holding their instruments, it's inevitable that you're going to get dissent. Maybe that's too cynical of a word for it, but what attachment do you have to the music if it's just like, here's your part?
I think I'd be okay with it, honestly.
I'd be okay with it if I was getting a paycheck.
Fair
but
enough.
If it was like shutting down the rest of my life, taking time away from the other things that I'm supposed to do.
So for me, like playing shows is a blast. Love it. So if it was like, you're going to play shows with us, learn these parts, I think that it sounds like fun. You don't have to deal with like the stress and like someone else is going to record it, someone else is going to do all this. I just have to
show up and play.
That
session drummer.
Sounds fun.
It does. Now do that for 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't think it has the legs.
Probably not, because you're not invested, right?
Yeah.
So.
And you're going to start just ad-libbing stuff and making it more fun to play, or playing it, backwards or something, just to be more entertained by it, right? And it's going to become work. Whereas if you're emotionally invested in it, you've got that heart in it. 5 years, 13 songs. Speaks for itself, man. I think it does. But good luck getting 2 albums out in a decade.
Even with Nazzy stuff, I don't know. We want to write an album, but it's gonna.
Once you guys get like 2 or 3 more under your belt, start getting into a flow of it, and it'll snowball.
Okay.
You won't have to. You don't have to worry about it. They'll basically write themselves.
No, I have no doubt that the guys, like, they could churn them out, but everyone agreeing on what is best for the situation is always where it comes to it.
It's tricky.
And you've written songs in bands, so you probably know.
Yeah, it's tricky. I just told Jeremy today that I hated one of his riffs.
How'd that go?
Oh man, the best part was Jarvis had a camera going at the time, so he's panning back and forth between. I'm holding a guitar, just like, I gotta be honest with you, fucking hate this riff so much, and just like a scene out of The Office, just an immediate smash cut pan to just like the least impressed face you could find. Maybe I should have softened it a little bit.
We had wrote like most of another song, and we chopped it like before we wrote the other two, or maybe it was in between the first and the second single. But
why?
We didn't like it.
Who did?
One person liked it.
Okay, yeah. That's all it takes, right? One strong enough a person just stop playing their instrument and go like, I refuse to play this anymore. What do you have a favorite piece of gear? I clearly, I mean, if you look around the room, one room, I like gear. I like pieces of equipment. Do you have a favorite piece of gear? And it's a 2-part question.
Okay.
So there's, I divided up in between like favorite piece of gear that like for function, for getting something done, for productivity, whatever it is, and then just a favorite piece of gear that is just holds a special place in your heart.
Okay. Like, yeah, I don't own like a ton of like nice gear. Like,
That's not the point.
Yeah. So I like there's nothing where it's like this. Like, there's sentimental stuff, I guess.
Yeah, Bevan has a drum throne that's like 20 years old and is life threatening, I think, if you sit the wrong way on it.
Okay.
But it's his favorite piece. It's his
so like
heart one.
Yeah, so the heart one for me would probably be my my one drum kit. It's a PDP drum. Like, it was probably $1,000 shell pack when I got it when I was 18 or 17 or 18.
With inflation, that's 18 grand now.
But it was like, it was the most I'd ever spent on drums at the time, and that was the only drum set I had until this last year. I bought myself a new kit. But so I've had that kit for I'm 33, so whatever the math checks out like 15 years ish.
Dang, yeah.
That one holds a pretty special place. I had it for sale once.
No way.
I put it on Kijiji because I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna buy a new kit.
Yeah.
Someone offered to buy it, and I was like, I can't do it. So I took it down, and I was like, sorry, I can't sell it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's been through. Oh, it's recorded every. Oh no, it hasn't recorded everything. We used a studio kit for some of it, but it's recorded a lot. It has gigged a ton. It's it's seen a lot of abuse. It's been thrashed
Dependable.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's been stood on. It's been
Yeah, people-
dropped off risers. It's been around. And that one's pretty special.
Yeah.
Favorite use wise? Man. There's my kick pedal, maybe.
Yeah.
Is my favorite like piece of drum gear that I have.
For the size of your guys' instrument, drummers aren't the
Like,
gear whores that
like-
seems like guitar players
Well, it's
tend
like
to be.
every time I get a cymbal that I really, really like, I break it.
Why?
So,
Hit hard?
because that part where I like didn't take lessons or like learn how to do things properly.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know.
Why those pedals? Pedals or pedal? Are you
It's just
single
a
kick
single,
player? Yeah.
single. Yeah, it feels nice. It's a nice pedal. It's
Yeah.
Tama Speed Cobra single. It's fast.
Does what you want.
Does what I want.
It's
It
the
goes
hammer of
do, do, do.
your kit. Like the
But there's been a handful of cymbals over the years that were my favorite until I broke them, and then
Did you-
warranted them, and
didn't
then
replace
broke them
them?
again.
Oh.
Yeah. So normally it's like I'd break them within the first year or whatever warranty was.
Yep.
I'd get warranty on it, and then I'd play it until it broke again. And
Within the next year?
the warranty didn't extend after. It's kind
Once
of
you replace it once, they're
it's
one and done.
not a lifetime.
They're not like just, what do you call them? Refillable cymbal stand.
I wish.
Here
man.
from a free
Oh,
refill.
man.
Thank you. It's been 11 and a half months.
So yeah, there's been a bunch.
Yeah,
And-
that's.
and
I mean,
like I like nice things. I like nice cymbals. So like you have to buy it. You got to buy the good ones, and they cost a fortune. And
They
then you
do.
break them in half, and
and
then you do it all
they
again.
cost you twice the fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just bought a new one, so but it's a ride that I plan on using for a ride, so it
Yeah.
shouldn't be breaking.
Survive
But
a little longer.
the crashes I go through them. Yeah.
This paper thing. They don't make them like they used to. Okay. Well, the last question that I'm asking everybody, because the whole purpose of this again is just this whole music art thing that that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing it? What it does for us, and the fact that I just want that for as many other people on the planet as possible. I feel like the world would be a simpler, more harmonious place if everybody got the catharsis that I get when I put some headphones on and play drums
Mhm.
to a Deftones track, or try and catch up to any of this like Polaris and Era madness on guitar. It just takes me out of any worry that I could even come up with, even the worst, stressed out brain could come up with. So, what advice would you give to aspiring creatives to go down a similar path? Either shortcuts for your instrument, or just
I don't know if
some-
I got shortcuts, but
Ah,
just
even just canned advice.
I would say just do it. I think there's a lot of really talented people just sitting in their rooms, like making songs and never playing them for anyone. And I think for me, like 90% of the fun is like live shows are a blast.
I'd say that
And,
just doing it is exactly what
like-
your story has been today. Is like, don't wait. Why wait till you have 21
Yeah, and I mean, like-
minutes, Do it at 19 and throw a cover on and make it 24.
Yeah, we got it. We got a real tight 25.
Right? I like
So,
that.
But I don't know. It's like it's fun. It's a lot of fun to do. So, and I think you learn a lot. Like especially like everyone has computers and stuff now. You could record on anything. Like you don't need a ton of money to do it. Like you could do like one room mic and you could record drums and like get demos. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty accessible. I mean, gear is expensive, but
also
it can be
not.
accessible. Like,
Yeah.
there is cheap gear and there's used stuff that it's fun to do.
Just
I
do
don't
it.
know. That's what we did. Like, that's what, like, Tim joined Follow the Red because he hung out with me and Kelly. Like, he was our friend.
Yeah.
And he was always there when we would jam all the time.
Like, didn't
And
no
then,
music background?
like, I
Or
think he played, like, violin.
oh dang.
But, yeah, no. And, like, so he
Hung around and
hung
liked the
around, and
vibe?
then it's like, "You think I could sing?" It's like, "Yeah." And then, like, yeah, there's a lot of, like, Comeback Kid influence for the early, so it was, like, a lot of yelling.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that into a
Hardcore
lot of
yells are the
screaming,
best.
and that was that. And just like, and like, first time, oh man, yeah, first time I met Garth, I think I asked him if he liked Under Oath or something along those lines, just because he looked a certain way.
Yeah. Just
It was
stereotypical.
it was an easier time because it was
Tattoos
like,
and stretched ears. You clearly.
it was like, this guy's wearing women's pants and really tight shirt.
Yeah.
And he's got the straightened hair.
Yeah.
You know, we got.
Yeah. I can tell from a distance that you're either a
You're-
boy that likes Under Oath or you're a girl that likes Under Oath.
But yeah, it was not everyone was wearing that.
Man, that's awesome. That's a whole, I mean, some more cool stuff I didn't know about you guys, but I think that's the perfect advice. Very poignant
I mean, it's
for your story.
sounds all cliche.
Oh, it's supposed to.
Just do it.
It's supposed to.
But it's like, I don't know what to say.
You
Like,
didn't even write that. That's
there's no
corporate Nike, I'm pretty sure.
I got no tips. Like,
That-
Kelly taught me how to play the drums. And then that was the only, like, I should have probably taken some lessons.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like I would have benefited from it. Maybe.
Do it now.
Do it now. Kind of stuck in my ways, man.
Then don't do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. I just don't know what I'm gonna. Yeah. I know you'd get something out of it now, but it's like, if you took a guitar lesson now, it's like,
Oh man.
what are they gonna tell? They're gonna tell you a lot.
I want nothing more than a guitar lesson because I want someone who plays at the level I want to be at to look at me and go, "Wow, you're doing so much wrong. Why do you do it all wrong?"
And I know I'm doing a lot wrong, and I just there's an unwillingness
that's
to
the rub,
change
right?
a little bit.
That's the rub. Just do it, man.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
That's it.
I think so.
Yeah.
What else you want to talk about? You want to shit on any other bands?
All of them.
I can't believe their new album. Who
You
else
know-
is good though?
Who else is good?
Oh, I know who's good.
Tell me.
Better Lovers.
Okay. Crapping on bands. This guy. Or not to crap on him.
No,
but-
go ahead. Who are you gonna crap on in Better Lovers? They're pretty.
Nobody
it's
in
like
them. That's
a
fantastic.
hardcore super group.
I know. It sucks about every time I die. Because it's like,
Well-
half of those guys ended up in there, right?
I mean, it sucks, but it doesn't because they're not making music.
Well, Keith's not in there.
It's still Every Time I Die though, and Greg Puciato is a beast.
Yeah, like, there's fantastic people in there, but Keith's vocals they're top notch, you know. Then they released that out.
See, I came from the Dillinger side of liking those two groups
Okay.
merging. So, but to be fair, Every Time I Die's riffing is
Yeah, like,
far more.
so, like,
you know,
Goose is
repeat
playing drums.
listening. It's the dude from Fit for an Autopsy. Whomever that guy is.
Okay.
I
thought it was
topically kind of exposed to them.
Okay. I thought it was Goose, like, the guy that drummed for Every Time I Die. I thought he was doing drums.
Nope. That's the only thing I know for sure is that it's
Okay.
Fit for an Autopsy.
I saw a clip on Instagram, and that was that. But
Have you heard the song? 30 Under 13?
I think I saw it when they were teasing it, and then I never checked it out when it got released. But I will.
I'll pull it up when we're done here
Sweet.
and show you. It is impossibly good.
I bet. Yeah.
It's so good.
I bet it is.
I didn't even know that the bands were done doing things because I just listen to the ones I listen to repeatedly until someone eventually says you should listen to this.
Yeah. Every Time I Die released, like, a new album, whenever it was, a year or two ago,
Not that long ago, yeah.
and then, like, shortly after that, they, like, broke up. So it was kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
And it was a stupid album name.
What was it called?
Radical.
Oh, what do you mean?
I can't handle it. I don't know.
Ah,
I don't know what they're supposed to be called, but it
what would you have called it?
I wouldn't call it radical.
Would you have called it like half a paragraph? You know, like one of those band names that, or one of those
Like from
song
the scene
names.
bands from like
Yeah,
2006,
where,
7.
where it's dangerous business walking out your front door,
Yeah.
but then the next three sentences as well are still the same song.
I don't know. No, like album name doesn't need to be like. It just
You know what I like? You know what I'm gonna do
seems
with the
weird.
archery stuff?
Self-titled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No,
No,
that'd be cool though.
I can't tell you now because you already guessed it exactly what it was.
Serious?
It was just gonna be called 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no, then there's nothing. You know, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to like, you don't have to have a theme. You don't have to. You already spent all this time making lyrics and yeah, man, you took this win out of my sails. I thought I was gonna like.
I'm sorry.
I just invented this. Like, 100 bands didn't do it before.
Yeah, no
And-
one's ever done it before.
I like how organized it is. It
I do
appeases
like it.
my OCD.
It's
You're like,
good.
was this their first album? You're like,
So
it's one. Pretty sure it is.
Chariot, best band ever.
Yep.
The one album they released, it was track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4.
Yeah, I like that too.
But it was like track 1 and then had like a letter at the end of it. So like when you look at it in order, it spells something.
Oh yeah, nice. Track 1A or
like-
track 1S?
Yeah,
That kind of a thing.
I'll pull it up after. I'll show
Nice,
you.
that's fun.
It's good stuff.
I would have put them out of sequence. Like the
So
first track
the-
would have
the-
been track 3. The second track would have been track 7.
I just
Just
imagine
to be
looking
an
at a set
asshole.
list and seeing like,
Oh jeez, yeah, no kidding.
because well, you probably like every band inevitably writes a song that they call intro, and then sometimes it doesn't end up at the start of the set. So like, I guess I was in another band with Kelly and Sam, like called Tired Talk. We did.
Oh yeah.
We've done like 2 shows. So, and we recorded an EP.
Are you still making music under that umbrella?
Seeing as like 3 of the 4 members are in this new project
Okay.
that we're kind of on hold.
The new Nazzy product?
Yeah, like Nazzy is like me, Sam, Kelly, Cord, and then Tire Talk was me, Sam, Kelly, and this guy Daniel who played bass.
Oh dang.
So it's energy's getting put elsewhere.
Yeah.
the moment.
Well, for sure.
But
You're
But yeah,
wondering
we
if
had a song
one of
called
you-
Intro, and then like it wasn't at the start of the set. It ended up,
That's when you call it nitro later on. Just to,
or it gets changed like interlude.
yeah.
Yeah. But
I liked it. Track 7. First track,
7.
track 7. Hi. Wow, that gets me going. That's perfect. That does everything I want. Who else sucks?
Who else sucks? AFI's new stuff.
We have new stuff.
Oh yeah.
I used to be the biggest AFI fan.
Hey, me too.
Nitro years, AFI, best stuff that ever happened. Everything, well, even what was it called? What was their major label one? The first one
December
Nope.
Underground.
before that,
Before that,
right before that.
Black Sails.
Nope, that's Nitro years.
Uh,
Their first one on it had like Girls Not Gray, Misery, something or other.
Yeah.
It had one of their best songs, Dancing Through
Oh.
Sunday.
Sing the Sorrow.
Sing the Sorrow. That's a good album.
Yeah, it is.
Everything after that, hot fucking garbage.
Okay, I really liked December Underground, but Crash Love I didn't, and I haven't listened since. But
December Underground had a good song, something caustic, something or other, where he's
Kill Caustic.
actually screaming, and
It's
it's
fantastic.
balls. It's awesome. Everything. He did an interview. He did an interview with doesn't matter. Did an interview though, and he's like, they were talking about the popularity of, I think maybe December Underground, or maybe it was even Sing the Sorrow, and Davey Havoc was like, well, I'm just glad people got into this album instead of something like Very Proud of You. And I can't remember if it was Very Proud of You, but one of those early
Like
Nitro years
That
albums.
or like Shut Your Mouth or
Yeah, Black Sails, as you referenced.
Sails is fantastic.
Man, all those albums. There's so much good stuff on there. And there's one in particular where there's like out of pitch vocals, where like it goes like flat for a second, and I'm like, when I listen to it, but I love that it's there.
It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's like this this filthy like teenage girl synth, like, ugh.
I saw them.
Sorry, you were saying the new album's really good.
No, don't like it.
Okay.
Or I don't. I gave a couple songs to listen.
I'm gonna try now because, like I said, I was. Oh, hold on. There's one more step to that story, just to
Okay.
make it even
Let's do it.
to underline my hate. So I had everything. I literally had everything. Sing the Sorrow and previous, like to the point where I'm finding like bootleg stuff and every EP in between too, like the All Hallows EP and all kinds of like
All Hallows is awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
all kinds of like little everything I could get of theirs. I just soaked it all up. So good. Finally they come to Alberta. They play Taste of no, not Taste of Chaos. They play Warp Tour, and
Okay.
we go to the show. They're headlining a show in Edmonton the next night. I can't remember where, but
What year was this? Give or take.
2009, maybe 2009 ish.
That might have been around the time I saw him. I saw
Maybe.
him. I saw him after Crash Love came out.
But maybe it was around then. Let's say 2009.
Okay.
Either way, they play Edmonton the next
Yeah.
day. I have tickets to both. My wife and I are down there watching Warp Tour, having a great time. And the set was just so shitty. And I was like super disappointed in their merch because their merch was like just each member of the band in like a 10 by 10 shot of just a like a mug shot, basically. Not even as like artistically fun as some sort of ghetto like Tiger Woods-esque mug shot. It was just their faces, and I'm like, no cool artwork. And after watching, all the cool stuff that they've done in their albums previously, you're kind of expecting something aesthetically pleasing, like beyond just a face shot. And the set was so bad, I gave away my tickets to the show in Edmonton. I had spent the last 10 years collecting everything I could of AFIs, and I just didn't even want to see them.
I was a huge fan. But yeah, saw them on Crash Love. I saw them in Edmonton. I think in Edmonton. They played. It was a big hall, but they like cut the room in half, so it was like
super intimate.
Well, like, yeah, because I saw Rise Against in the same place, I want to say, and it was like huge, and there was thousands of people there. And then this was like probably like 500 cap or smaller, but like when you go to like a metal show and there's like the big dudes in the pit that are like destroying everyone. It's like there was a bunch of like little girls and emo kids, and then there was me and Tim and Kelly. And it's like we are the big people.
Oh no, we're them. Yeah, when you start crowd surfing and you hit dips in like 16-year-old girl ebbs and flows, you're like, I'm gonna break someone's neck.
Yeah, but
good show. Yeah, heyday, man. There would have been a time to see those guys.
The old stuff was good. The new stuff was whatever.
That should be the theme of this one. The theme.
We're just.
Do you want another run at your advice? You could just be like, don't write anything after your third album. Just stop. Just stop. Fall off the map. New band. Write 3 first albums again.
Yeah.
Would you say 3? Or would you go past 3?
Thrice had a lot of good ones before they hit what I consider the ones that aren't as
What's
good.
the wall? What's the wall on them? Where was it?
For me, it was what was the one with Black Honey on it?
To be everywhere, to be everything.
To be everywhere is to be nowhere.
Something
that one
like that, yeah.
So
there's some okay tracks on that. I like playing Hurricane. I play Hurricane, and my kids
like Alchemy Index is fantastic.
Alchemy Index is.
I'm a big fan of that.
What's your jam?
Like as far as which one?
Yeah, which alchemical?
Air.
Okay.
So when you had it, was it 4 separate discs or was it like?
Yep, it was 2.
It was 2 per disc.
2 double discs.
Yeah.
Like Air and Earth, I think, and
yeah. So those ones,
Water.
Air and Earth got the most listens for me.
Earth had a song called "Moving Mountains" on it, I think, which was super dope.
And then I want to say, I'm gonna butcher. Daedalus.
Daedalus. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good track.
It's the best.
Bisou.
Bisou's fantastic.
It's pretty good too. It didn't hit as hard for me until I seen it live.
Okay.
I seen them play that in At a Taste of Chaos, and watched them do The Earth Will Shake. Was that with the lights they had at the time were just
Awesome.
spot on perfect. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We dream of ways to.
So like they had more than 3 good ones, I'd say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
'Cause
I don't know what the cutoff is, but before you start getting bad ones, but
remember when earlier when we were shitting on people that have far more impressive careers?
Mhm.
What did you think of his solo album? The Almost?
The Almost?
Maybe? Yeah.
when it came out, I was a big Aaron fanboy.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if I still am, but he was my favorite drummer ever, and yeah, it was he put on a good show. He hits the drums real hard,
Yeah.
and he looks like he's trying really hard.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's like doing a lot, but it looks like there's a lot of effort, and it's like, man, this guy's playing the drums well.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
And now it's like, it looks difficult because he's just making it difficult.
Because it is
and
difficult.
That's kind of how I play the drums.
Nice.
No, it's not because it's difficult. You make it difficult by just being an animal.
Yeah, by pulling your snare hits from the rafters.
About there.
Yeah. Yeah, that album I liked the first 2 songs, I think. There's
Okay.
one track called Say It Sooner or Something
Yeah.
Sooner. That was
Yeah.
pretty fun.
I was
don't
a
think
big
I got that
fan.
deep into it.
Yeah, I listened to it a lot. I listened to the second one that he put out. I don't know if he's put out more since then, but I listened to the first 2 albums for sure. And
now Under Oath's the band again? Do I understand that right?
yeah,
Something about teeth. There was an album called something Teeth. With teeth?
On
In
My Teeth was a single
All right.
from two records ago.
Ooh, dang.
So yeah, like Aaron left the band, whatever,
Oh.
long time ago.
Oh, dang.
After Lost in the Sound came out.
Okay, that was the last one that I actually listened to.
And then, what's his name? David Daniel. There's a Daniel.
Daniel Danielson.
He played drums in Every Time I Die, I want to say.
Oh.
I could be wrong. But he came in as the drummer for Under Oath.
Yeah.
And they put out a good record, which I hated at the time because Aaron left.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fanboy.
Yeah.
That loyalty
big time.
beyond
It was
beyond
hard.
reason.
It was hard.
I did that too. I did that with Human Abstract. They lost their singer. I think they had a bunch of like border issues and trying to get to Canada didn't work.
Singers understand. That's a pretty big change.
Yeah, but he was half the sing in that band too.
I guess Aaron, yeah.
If he wasn't there,
because his clean vocals I always loved better than Spencer's.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you hear the band Means?
Means, no.
MEANS. They are from Canada.
Cool.
Maybe Winnipeg. Who knows? We're not about facts here on this show.
Yeah.
We
got facts.
But I have one of my favorite. So I had 2 awkward. We're talking about fanboy moments that made me think of. I seen the Deftones. I seen Deftones. I seen them in Vancouver one time at the Commodore Room, and it was the greatest show I've ever seen in my life. And I bought VIP tickets and the whole 9, and we got to like meet and greet, and we were there for sound check, and they played like 4 songs to like 12 of us. And it was
Okay.
the coolest thing ever. And we're waiting after for them to finish sound check and come out and sign stuff and take pictures. And yeah, I was like, Abe Cunningham was there, and I'm like, Abe, oh man, you play drums? Like, that's cool. You still play drums? I have drums. I was like, oh my god, why am I talking? Like, so that was the first time I ever felt like a complete idiot. But I did it one other time at way less
Pretty sure I've done it.
caliber too.
And I don't know what it is. It's like you see someone and you're like, I know you somehow.
From
like,
an album.
From this.
Yeah. From this thing that I almost burned a hole through listening to it.
Yeah. And then
And
when you
they're-
go talk to them, you're like, oh, I don't know you at all.
Yeah. I don't know you, and you don't know how much I listened to it, and this whole thing is awkward. We played with Calculating Claps way back when. I booked Means to come to Fred's. I was working there at the time, and then their band that was opening, I Hate Sally.
Okay.
They van troubles twice on their way out west. Like I think they blew 2 transmissions by Manitoba kind of thing, and they bailed. So I was talking with their booking agent through Fred's, and they informed me of this, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I know a band that can open up, but now we have a show at Fred's, and I'm like, well, what are you guys doing for the rest of the tour? Well, we don't have anyone. Well, I know someone that can do it. So we got to play a bunch of shows with them, and we're playing Avenue Skate Park in Edmonton
Oh, I think I've seen footage from that place. It looks awesome.
when it was still a skate park. So
Yeah.
now it's just called a venue,
Mhm.
which is a really fun play on
Mhm.
Avenue, right? Gotta respect that a little bit.
Pretty sure I've seen footage of some band from GP playing in a half pipe or something.
We certainly did it
Awesome.
a couple of times. That just married two of my favorite things on the planet together. And watching kids run up and down a half pipe and smash into each other at the bottom was not something I knew that I needed in my life, but
But you got it.
I got it, and it was glorious. So we're playing there with Means, and the guitar player. They just had one guitar player. It was the first band I ever played with, I think, that had like a stereo rig, and it was massive and just sounded so good. But he did all the singing parts, and their vocalist was just a screamer. And he, that band. When you were talking about the production on a band, that album sounded so good, and it
Okay.
was almost unfair to say, but a little disappointing to hear the screamed vocals live
Okay.
because they weren't. Well, they were obviously doubled and
Mm-hmm.
whatever else, and but the singer was top shelf quality, and I was like, we're in the back in the green room like restringing guitars and stuff, and I don't know, I was just like, you sing all the pretty parts, just like smelling his hair from behind him or something, just like, oh man, why do you talk? Just don't talk. Just restring a guitar and just nod at people like a normal human.
Yeah.
Got any of those? Got any of those stories?
Not
Try to get as
not
awkward as
telling-
possible.
No. I mean, we saw the Chariot. I don't know if you know who they
Nope.
are. Okay. You should
Write that down too.
write it down,
this be-
and then just go watch some YouTube videos, like best live band ever.
Really?
Just well,
I have a fun
Sorry.
live band story.
when I say best live, it's like they put on a show.
Yeah.
Which is all that I've ever strived to do. Playing
Yeah.
live music, it's like
Man, ruin those power chords, but kick
it's
the
gonna
wall.
sound how it sounds, and then it's like it is what it is. So yeah, there's a guy, Josh was the guitar guy in that band, and he's good.
Like, what are we talking? Like 2000, mid 2000s guitar spins? And
On like
wall
so
kicks?
you saw, oh man, Cancer Bats last time they came to GP, right?
yes.
So Stevis was playing guitar for them. There's like that girl, and then the guy with dreads,
Mhm.
not dreads-ish, like might have been
Unwashed hair?
dreads. Unwashed. Well, they were all pretty unwashed, but there was the girl guitar player and the guy guitar player, and he's got some moves. He was doing lots of those spinoramas and stuff,
Yeah.
and it was like, this is where it's at for live music.
That was entirely my contribution to calculating claps. My
moves?
guitar was plugged in. I was unplugged most of the time. I was just arging.
So was
and I'm
Garth
just doing
for
just
Follow
like,
the Red stuff.
just stabbing it into things, just trying to look cool.
That's where it's at.
That's what makes me stop watching a drummer. When Bevan and I were chatting the other day, I was telling him that I was like, I watch the drummer 90% of the time when I'm watching a band. It's the drummer. I don't know why. He's sitting down. He should be on paper the least interesting person, but that's the one I'm watching.
That's who I watch, but I play drums, so I think that's
Yeah.
normal.
Maybe it's
But-
because like this, it's hard to see from a distance and hard to be impressed by.
Yeah, like I'm
Mhm.
not really the whole like chops and stuff doesn't do a whole lot for me, but it's like if you can hit the drums real hard,
Yeah.
I'm pumped on it.
Yeah, if you can pull snare hits from here. That maybe reminded me of this band called Dredge. You ever hear of them?
No.
Dredg. Seen them at a Taste of Chaos tour. Whenever that was going on. This dude though, he was pulling snare hits from the rafters, and he like somehow knew he was gonna break a stick. He must have had a bin of sticks like this, and he'd come down, smash it, break it, follow through, grab another one, and did not miss one snare hit.
Just rim shots
Oh,
all
it
day.
was so sick.